All right, BobalosRex here, and today we're taking a look at the warrior artifact weapons. Now, I got the add-on pulled up, the remix artifacts tracker, so we can show them off. And I'm gonna be using my new rating scale: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Most things are 3 to me. Most things are all right at a 3. Okay. Then there's 2 where I dislike it. Then there's 1 where I really don't like it. I wouldn't say hate, I barely say hate. And then there's like a unranking kind of deal if I don't give a number and I'm like, it's good, but it's not my style kind of deal. All right. And then there's a 4, which is good. And then there's a 5. All right. Which is great. And then I judge based off a couple things: lore, style, color, etc. All right. Now, first off, we're talking about Stromkar, the arms warrior weapon, which is basically the blade of the original Arathi king, Thoradin. All right. So this has some big lore, and it scares trolls. All right, in some places. All right, so it may be topical again. You know, we got the Arathi stuff, we got the Amani stuff. So this has a lot of lore behind it. But as far as looks, I actually think it looks really good for what it's supposed to be. I like the bone handle here, and then just this solid blade, right? Now, color-wise, it's fine. You know, it is that kind of like basic color that I think is really good. This does kind of give it a little troll feeling, though. All right, and then we got this color. It's okay. You know, not my favorite color. Then we got the purple. Again, it's all right. This one kind of stands out more to me because it's like the basic, and it does fit more of like the lore of what the blade is. And then this one can kind of fit too, and it's got that blood look, right? But these two, the bone stops looking like a bone a bit with some of those, all right? And now, so I would give this one overall just a 3. It's a 3. I'm not going to hate it. It's a 3 because of the lore, right? Otherwise, I probably wouldn't give it a 2. Now, we got the next one. All right, this is from completing the Warrior Class Hall campaign. All right, boom. Now, what's interesting about this blade, so in the story when we get it, we basically absorb an old god. Okay, so now it's like the crystal has broken. It's like gooing out. And the sword is like containing this power within. Right? And it still looks good. This one doesn't really have that old god look. But like the crystal. We got the green here. This could almost go for a little fell. Right? Especially during Legion. And then the bone is gone. As you can see, the bone handle is no more. Alright? And then we move. That's why I kind of like this one a little bit better, right? But then we move on to the purple. This one does feel like it's the actual void here. And then this one with the red, the blood red. I think this one looks the coolest out of these, right? So this one's my favorite of the base. And this one's my favorite of the broken crystal, basically. Of the Vengeance of the Fallen, the upgraded one. But yeah, I think this one's good. And it has this like... It is weird somewhat because it does have this like ring here. Right here, look. It's like a link. I don't know what you'd call that. But yeah, that I do think is a little like... But you're cutting with this edge, right? So you'd be wielding it like that. But that's why I'm like, I don't kind of get that. You know, because this is the cutting side. All right, then we move on to the Balance of Power, and we got the Flame Reaper. Now, this is actually, I think, my favorite one. So yeah, this overall is a 3. It's no different than this. to me. You know, all these are 3, but that's my favorite color, and then that's my favorite color of the base. And then we're moving on to this one. This one is my favorite, I think. So this one is at least a 4, right? And I really like how this one has this, like, molten fire center. This one also makes me think of, like, ancient weapon, but it also makes me think of, like, Cool Titans, right? And we got this version. Again, it gives me that Titan. It's just a different orange, so it can match a little different. I still prefer this color. Then we got the red here. Now, this one looks more like the blood, but also, if you think of, like, the Jarden lava, it does kind of fit with that as well. But again, overall, it does have this kind of, like, more of Cool / Titan look. And then we got the Fell one. This is straight the Fell blade. Full of Fell juice. Alright. But yeah, my favorite one here is between the blood one and this. And I'm going to go with the original color here of the Flame Reaper. But this one I think is my favorite overall look of Stromkar. And then the one I use the most. And I would give it a 4 overall. Now we got Rat's Edge. Now this one is a good one. This one's like a good Forsaken one. It matches Rat set. I'd also give this a 4. Because it matches the Rat set and I'm a fan of tier 2. But yeah, the Flame Reaper I still think is my favorite overall. But yeah, we got the cool green one that straight up matches the Rat set. And now we got the upgraded Rat set, tier 2. This fits really good with it. And this is the PvP one. So all you gotta do is PvP. And again, this one's my favorite color, but look at these colors. So we got blue, that one looks good. That one looks good. Good Death Knight colors, but this is for warriors. So it's like Death Guard, right? Forsaken Death Guard colors here, or some of them, that I think are really good. So yeah, this one's definitely a 4 across the board, all colors. But this one's my favorite. But Flame Reaper still wins out. And now we got the challenge mode, the Mage Tower appearance. Now this one has a Mogu style to it almost. If you think about it, right? This electric style here. Again, we see the Titan influence. You know, this one's more human. This one had a little difference. The Flame Reaper did have the Titans, and then the Wrath Edge just is different. But then this one, again, we go back to Titan stuff, and this one feels Mogu-y to me, like Thunder King-y. Then we got, oh yeah, this one comes from, well, you do the Mage Tower, or would have done the Mage Tower, and then you got to kill Jaden, heroic kill Jaden. And yeah, this one's straight, the Fell, Mogu Fell blade. And we got the purple. The purple lightning, you know, I guess fits the void ethereal. Like, imagine an ethereal wielding a blade like this. And then the yellow. So this is from Dungeons, and then this one's for Rated Battlegrounds. So the yellow here, this is a more traditional lightning. I do actually kind of like this look. But I don't know where I would use it. But yeah, it definitely gives me the Mogu vibe. But I would still say this is like a 3, maybe a 3.5. You know, I think I like it about the same as the base. Alright, Flame Reaper and Wrath's Edge still better. And then we got the Hidden Appearance, which is from a cool little quest line you do with like Sarfang. Or maybe, yeah, it's definitely with Sarfang. And yeah, we get the axe here. Arcanite Blade Breaker is basically an upgraded version of the Arcanite Reaper. So I gotta give it credit to that. So I will say it's like 3.5 for it being special like that. But overall, it's not my favorite. So I'm not gonna put it above my favorites or on the same level. But I do like it. And, ooh, this color makes it feel like it's the opposing force to the Black Hand Hammer. If you see what I'm talking about, how it's like the dark fuse colors a little bit. And we got the green, a little bit of fell, and then that one has like the soul look. But yeah, I can't remember exactly where you get this, but there's like a little quest line you do. You go down the broken shore, find Sarfang, talk to the warriors, do some stuff. Alright, then we're moving on to the War Swords of the Valajar. Alright, and then we got... There is some somewhat cool lore here, but this is one of the ones made up for Legion, and these basically are Odin / Helya made swords. Odin made them, Helya stole them, and corrupted them, and then we got them back, and then Odin purified them, and it's 2 of these big swords. So I actually really like these as a pair, right? Because these are big, meaty swords. But I'm going to give the base just a 3 overall. And then we got the... Here, this color is kind of cool. It's like that flaming or like that blood fire look. And then we got the really void look here. And then it's not the Legion green. It's more of like a jade fire. So I definitely feel like the base is the strongest here, but not my favorite version of these swords. Then we move to the upgraded version. The freaking dragon gets fire and starts really breathing it. These start to look really cool. Alright, so these I like. So this is more like a 3.5 just adjustment. This one I think looks really a lot better than it did before because of now the dragon's actually breathing the fire. Then we got the void fire version, and then yeah, this jade fire. Like, imagine, you know what I think could be cool here? Like a monk, a jade fire monk wielding 2 of these kind of dealio, linking it to like Yulon. But yeah, still not my favorite, right? So, but like a 3.5, definitely. Like, look at that upgrade. All right, then we got Valor Maul here. This is from Balance of Power. And I actually really like how this blade is, right? We got the one dull edge, basically, but then we got this cool sharp edge. And the overall look of these blades really remind me of Monster Hunter a little bit. But definitely not my favorite. Like, I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, definitely not my favorite. Actually, I like the Flamin' Fire more. So these are definitely... These are almost a downgrade from this. Alright, but it's full Titany look. And then you got the void, you got the red here. And then the green, the jade green. It's not like a fell green proper either. Alright, then we got Storm's Breath. Again, I'm not a big fan of this. This one I would actually put it a 2. We're actually going back. So that's like the 3-ish. You know, both of these are 2.5 maybe. Oh, I'm not a fan. I can see it, like, this one has a bit more fell look to it than the other greens. This one don't work for me at all. And then you got this red lightning. It's like the dragon lightning from Monster Hunter. But now let's look at these. So, this is the challenge mode. This is the Mage Tower appearance. And this is 100% my favorite of these. Okay? So, you look at the progress here. You look and see how I like this one over like all these other weird looking ones. Or, I'm not going to say weird, but different looking styles of blade. Right? Because that's what it is. It's different styles of blade and preferences and all that stuff. Like, I like the dragon opening up here. And now we got... The dragon is gone. So we're going back to this, like, different look. And then if you go dig into the lore with the Helya stuff, and that's where this comes from, it's the Helya version. That's why I kind of like this blade, right? So we're going back to the Helya. So this is like a piece of, like, hell ice. And then we got this, like, thing strapped to it. It's leading full into the Monster Hunter. And then I got 2 of these. I thought these looked really good. And then you have this, like, chain here. Right? So look at all the other ones. Like, you got the tassel there, which this one I liked. But nothing there. A little thing there. And then now we got this chain here. Now, I'm going to look at these colors because I haven't unlocked these. I got this one, of course. but I haven't unlocked these. So kill Jaden. Again, it's not a Legion green. Or actually, no, this one actually, someone has a more Legion green, but it does feel like the Jade green. And I don't feel like this works. I do not like the green here. This one I like when it's like that Soul Ice. This one, not so much. Now, the Void one... This one kind of works, because this blade, they really darkened it. And this one has a cool, like, Void Edge kind of look. And then the red here is alright. I do think this works a little bit better. But yeah, this one is my favorite. And then we got the Dragon Slayer's Edge, where they... kind of like where they mixed it up with Stromkar, we got axes. Now this... Oh, wait, I forgot how good this axe was. Yo, I'm kind of torn. Sword-wise, this one's my favorite, but I really like this axe. I forgot how much I like this axe. So, you basically got to kill 2 dragons. One is a world boss, which is a pain to do now. And then one is in a dungeon. And then you got to kill the dude in the dungeon. Collect the pieces. Boom. Get the appearance. And we got an axe here. A dragon axe. And again, part of this has Gorehowl looks. But because of how over the top and how big these are, because these are like two-handers, dude, it gives me Monster Hunter vibes. And this one almost, right, if you look at this now, this is like that Earth Dragon. It almost gives Iridicron colors. Alright, then we got the dungeon version. This is Shadow Flame. That's straight Shadow Flame. Like, post-Dragonflight now, that looks really good. Then we got the blue here. See, that's more of that, like, death mist. And then the... Okay, you know what? Across the board, I like the axe the best. But my favorite sword appearance is this one. And then some of this. I'm not a big fan of the war swords of the Valajar, is what I'm finding out. But I'm not a big fan of Odin. That's why I like the Helya version or the dragon version. You know, that's funny. Alright, now let's move. Speaking of dragons, it's time for the scale of the Earth Warder. And we got the shield here. Now, I can't, can I not see? Oh, show secondary. Okay, okay, that's good. Alright, yeah. Alright, so we're going to judge the shield and the secondary. Oh yeah, here, I didn't give these numbers. 5s. Alright, 4s. 4.5s on some of them. This is like a 3. Or a 2, something. Alright, now we're moving on to the shield. Alright, so with scale of the Earth Warden, the base, thematically, story-wise, it's a Vrykul who takes a Neltharion scale and turns it into a shield. I think it looks good. I like the Vrykul style of weapons. So I did really like this shield, but this is very basic. So again, I'm giving it a 3. Even with these different colors, you have these different looks. But I think the base color is my favorite. Alright? Then we got Arm of the Fallen King. This was legit cool to me. When I finally got this on my warrior... Oh, let me judge the sword. So here, look at the sword. You know, the sword's alright, right? The sword with this shield, I'm not going to judge too much, but it's alright. So we're giving it all a 3. Alright, now we're moving into the upgraded version. I really like what they did with the shield. Now we got these tusks coming out, or claws, right? We got the dragon iconography, like leaning into the Vrykul stuff. That's why I really like it. It leans into the lore of the weapon. Really popping here. I definitely like the base color more. This fits the most Vrykul colors. We got this, and we got this one, right? Again, the base colors are my favorite, and then sword-wise, the sword is okay. Alright? It's never like the standout part. Alright? For most of these. Then we got Unbroken Stand. So this one has that more... And this is the PvP... Or the Balance of Power one. This is the Balance of Power one. This one does have more of that undead theme. Right? And we look in the weapon. We got this, like, battle axe. Alright? Instead of this. And you're like, this is not Vrykul. This is something else. Right? This is a metal shield. As you can see. Oh, I guess you can still see the scale, kind of. But yeah, this has undead vibes to me. Then we look at the different colors. So this is like a Death Guard kind of vibe, right? An undead warrior kind of vibe. And then we lean all the way into the Death Guard here, and you may be like, oh, but this is the Death Guard, right? Look, this one, not so much. This one literally says Death Guard. Well, here it's the skulls, right? So this is what you would see. Actually, this almost kind of matches the Might set, the original Might set. This almost specifically matches that, if we're honestly thinking it. But here's the thing with the Death Guard set, is part of me also thinks troll stuff kind of leans into this here too. This one does kind of have a little bit of hex vibe to it, okay? If you see what I'm seeing here. All right. Now, it is also Death's Guard gaze, so it does have, you know, that undead theme. All right, then we move over, you know, more of that. And again, like I said, because of how the skull is, it may be undead themed as well. It also can give me some troll warrior vibes as well. And then weapon, look at that weapon. Right? It's almost like a pirate blade, right? We got the pirate theme. So you got the undead and a little bit of troll stuff here. Nautical, even. And then let's move on to the big weapon, right? Boom. The Mage Tower weapon. Now, personally, I like this a lot. So I'm going to give this a high score, because personally, I like this a lot. But I can see why some people think it's not that big of a deal, because it is kind of like a shield with a big, like, boar tusk on it. But as someone who's like a Tauren, for some reason, this just feels like it's like I fought a really big quill boar, strapped it up, put flames on it, and it really fits my Tauren warrior vibe. All right, it really fits that vibe, and I like it a lot. Now, let's see these other colors here. All right, so we got the blue flame here. You know, I do kind of like the base over this color, but I can see how this is cool. You know, gives it more like that cold fire look. All right, then we got this green one. For some reason, it's giving me Maldraxxus vibes. But I don't like it that much, but it's still a good looking shield in my opinion. And then, ooh, the red. Too bad I don't like the actual shield's color. I like this. I don't like the actual shield's color. So honestly, this is just my favorite because it just fits. But if you really look at it, the shield is broken. I'm like, hold up a second. Hold on a second. It ain't even all the way complete. But you know what? I get a flail, and I really like the flail. Now look at let's look at these colors. Ooh, the green. All right. Oh, I still like the base flail. I think it works the best. This is my favorite because it's sentimental. And then we got the hidden weapon appearance, where basically to get this, you just walk into Neltharian's lair until it yells at you. And this one is pretty good. This one fits the Deathwing set a lot, and it's blatantly just, they taken the Deathwing scale and reignited it into the Cataclysm Deathwing we know and love. And here, let's spin it around real quick. It's got this like cloth on it. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good shield. Other than the sentimental value, I think this one would be my favorite just because of how much it pops, right? We got this blue version, which with the Scourge Deathwing, you know, kind of work. You know, that Undead Deathwing. Then we got Fell Deathwing looking style here. And then Void Deathwing look here. Which, honestly, I think I gotta get this. I gotta PvP. This is very topical, the Void Deathwing one. But yeah, so my favorites are these two. This one for sentimental, and then this one for overall look now. But I really like all of these and how this one played with the Might theme. This one up here played with Wrath. But yeah, that's my overall ranking of these. So yeah, so these would be 5s. 4, 3, 5, or 3.5, 3.5. And honestly, that's like a 2. I honestly don't like that shield. The lore is cool. The lore is cool. A bit. But yeah, and my least favorite across the board, though, I would say is the War Swords of the Valajar. Stromgar is number 2, and then the Scale of the Earth Warder has the coolest sets for me, because I'm a Prot Warrior at heart, so it had to win. Either way, thank y'all for watching. I'm going to be doing another one of these tomorrow. Maybe. Either way, thanks again. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.